Recording in progress.
Good morning, dear Dharma friends. Have you ever driven across the country? Like 4 or 5 days or so with lots of driving. And you get back in the car after a rest stop on day 5 or 4. Didn't we just do this? We were just here moments ago. Well, we get another day. Another day in which we will transform greed, hatred, and ignorance into generosity, love, and compassion and wisdom. That's pretty cool. Jim, I meant to tell you before we went on, I'm going to stay till 8. If you want to go and pick up that plenary session at the conference, please go ahead and do so. I'll stay till 8. I will end at 8, though. So, I persist in thinking I'm Robert Beatty. I will be here tomorrow morning. I mean, I plan to be here. You never know. But I plan to be here Sunday morning, and then I will be not here for the next 5 days. Sunday afternoon, I'm headed for a retreat at the coast, dropping into silence myself for a few days. So I have a poem here by John Wellwood. John Wellwood is one of my heroes. He wrote several books about intimacy as a path to wholeness. And one of the highlights of my meeting teacher's life was I had dinner one time at a teacher's conference with John Wellwood on my left and Joanna Macy on my right. That was a very nice time. And then we spent much of the evening together, actually. So, from John Wellwood, forget about enlightenment. Sit down wherever you are and listen to the wind singing in your veins. Feel the love, the longing, the fear in your bones. Open your heart to who you are right now. Not who you would like to be. Not the saint you're striving to become. But the being right here before you, inside you, around you. All of you is holy. You are already more and less than whatever you can know. Breathe out. Touch in. Let go. Forget about enlightenment. Sit down wherever you are and listen to the wind singing in your veins. Feel the love, the longing, the fear in your bones. Open your heart to who you are right now. Not who you would like to be, not the saint you are striving to become, but the being right here before you, inside you, around you. All of you is holy. You are already more and less than whatever you can know. Breathe out. Touch in. Let go. Forget about enlightenment. That'd be a relief, wouldn't it? Forget about enlightenment. Sit down wherever you are and listen to the wind singing in your veins. Feel the love, the longing, the fear in your bones. Open your heart to who you are right now. Not who you would like to be. Not the saint you are striving to become, but the being right here before you, inside you, around you. All of you is holy. You are already more and less than whatever you can know. Breathe out, touch in, let go. Everything has its beginning and ending. I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and love. Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community of mindful harmony. Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya. There is a mysterious knowing, a mysterious awakeness. Notice how the body sits here. Notice its shape. Notice how it presses against the chair or the cushion. Notice how it breathes. And what if there is nowhere to get to? Listen to the wind singing in your veins. Open your heart to who you are right now, not who you'd like to be. So who is it? What is it that sits here right now? Feel the life in your hands, the life in your face. Embrace the fact of breathing in and breathing out. There is a helpful practice taught by Ajahn Chah. It's a way of thinking about this choiceless awareness, this mystery of awareness and its objects. And in this practice, we imagine that there's a house or a room, and it has 6 windows. And right in the center of it, it has a chair, a comfortable chair, right where you're sitting right now. And the 6 windows are the eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue, the feeling body, and the mind. And the instruction is to enter this room. Take your seat, the one seat, and stay in the room. Practice what is called, guarding the senses. And so the idea is that we stay in the one seat. And we become aware of the arising at the ear door of sounds. We become aware of the arising at the eye door of sights. At the nose, smells. At the tongue, tastes. At the body, it's touches or proprioceptive knowing, or warmth or coolness, or pleasure or pain. And at the mind, at the mind door, we practice awareness of thoughts as thoughts, of emotions as emotions, memories, plans as what they are, mental phenomena. And so we take the one seat this seat right here. And we discover that some thought comes by. It's an interesting thought, attractive or repulsive. And we are out the window and down the street, gone. Until at a certain moment, there's waking up. And suddenly, we're in the seat. We become so easily infatuated by thoughts, and most thoughts have I, me, mine attached to them, woven through them. But we have a practice. It is the practice of mindfulness, of awakening. And we don't want to get caught in elaborate imaginations of a room and windows. That's not the point. The point is to have another metaphor for sitting is happening right here, right now. The breath comes and goes. Each breath has its beginning, middle, and ending. Just as each thought has its beginning, middle, and ending. we sit in the one seat. Just as we drive in the one seat and bathe in the one seat, we are always at the very center of the universe. And we have what we call a spiritual practice. It's rooted in refuge in being awake, awake with an interest in perceiving and knowing how life actually is. And we do it in the company of our dear friends on the path. And so we sit in the one seat, and the body door is remarkably alive. Everywhere we glance, everywhere the mind lands, awakens. The clothing is touching the body, or there's a slight coolness on the face, or the hands are warm, or there's not even really such thing as hands. There's just this vibrating, pulsing mass of life. Thoughts arise. Sometimes they're very sticky and we get pulled into them, out the window. Other times it's obvious that they are thinking themselves. as we sit in the simplicity of this moment. The Buddhist perspective might be, there's no predicting what karmas will ripen as vipaka, what thoughts will arise, whether the hindrances will blossom or not. So there could be wanting, I want something. I want my breakfast, or I want something to change in the world. There's wanting, leaning forward toward a desire. Or there's pushing against something. I don't want, not liking, this ache in my back, or this blurriness in my vision, or whatever it is. Maybe it's I don't like this restlessness or agitation. So it might be a mind that's agitated and restless. There's no need to get rid of it. The agitated and restless mind is constantly ceasing. It arises and ceases. We simply stop attaching to it or fighting it. Comes to the window and disappears. There might be sloth and torpor, dullness, sleepiness. This is also no problem. It's a normal state, comes and goes. That which knows sloth and torpor is not sloth and torpor. That which knows doubt is not doubt. And so we land right here in the one seat. We are open to joy and sadness, pleasure and pain, gain and loss. while sitting in the one seat. We can also attend to how kind we're being. What is the underlying relationship here? Is it shape up or ship out, or is it I'm here with you? Perhaps it's I'm here with you and it's okay to be exactly what you are, how you are. This, of course, then allows everything to manifest simply. Breathing in, breathing out. It is my intention to love and accept myself. Exactly as I am in this moment. And it's quite likely that with some frequency we will encounter pain and suffering. And then we hold the intention, I aspire to hold myself. Whenever I'm hurting, no matter how I'm hurting, from the smallest dukkha of wanting a mind state to be a little different, to the dukkha of great illness or loss, it is my intention to hold myself in sweet, gentle compassion. And as I intend to do this for myself, so with my loved ones, my friends, with people who are suffering in so many ways all around the earth, with beings of all kinds, I aspire to hold all beings in sweet, profound compassion. Sitting here in the one seat, reestablish presence in the whole body, from the feet to the hands, to the pelvis, to the legs, to the back and the whole torso and the fingers and hands and arms, to the face. It's all alive. Home. It is our human home. Very sweet to be with you, my friends. The update on the project. This was yesterday. This massive beam here is called a glue lamb. And it's called that because it's actually it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know. Is it 10 2x8s, I think. And it turned out that when they took down or began to take down the wall, this is the bathrooms in the front foyer. See, here's the old wall over here. They're going to take down, we need more distance from the windows in order to have these big enough for ADA bathrooms. So they have to take down the old wall, but they discovered that it's a load-bearing wall, which means that it's holding up the choir loft. So what to do? There was a problem. And so as it turns out, these two perpendicular pieces here are now holding this monster beam, and it's this and way over here that are holding up the building. All the rest of these are useful for holding doors and so on. So they figured that out. And then this was also yesterday. These are the forms for these will all be filled with concrete with posts coming up, and the ramp will come in around here and go up there to the back porch, and then over here, and then back here, and then in the Dharma hall. So they're moving. They're moving rather quickly, actually. And let me go back to this for a second. Announcement time. My class, What the Buddha Taught. I find this Buddha a little scary. And I'll give you, the link is already in the chat. Thank you, Kat, for that. I want to get rid of this. And let me just confirm that it's in the chat. Yeah. Excellent. So there you have it. I am going to spend the better part of today at the Teachers Conference. Found some of it yesterday quite engaging. It's sure not like being at one, of course, being there in person. It is a tepid reflection of what it can be in person. So I think that's what I have to share with you today. I will be gone next week. I leave Sunday afternoon for a retreat. Very much looking forward to that time. I'll be getting a call each day from my teacher, Matt Flickstein. We'll have a brief conversation at 11 o'clock each morning. So we have 12 minutes till I need to turn into a pumpkin. So is there something anyone would like to share, please? Or a question. Oh my goodness, Denise is going back to Leslie Gulch today. I'm jealous. I think I have sound. I'm not 100% sure. I'll test. I can test it. Preferences. Audio. I have sound. This is where Denise is going today. Quite a place. Oh, this is fun. I don't think you'll have sound, but you can see the... Leslie Gulch, one of the great wonders of Oregon. Who's heard of it even? There's so many exquisite places on this planet. Right here, for instance.
Good morning, Robert and Sangha. It's Karen.
Hello, Karen.
I just had a question. It's kind of a personal one, but you mentioned you're going to be going in on the silent retreat, and you just in silence. And I was just curious, how silent is that? And the reason I'm asking is I'm going to be going and having my own little retreat. Just curious, does that mean like you don't listen to music or, it could just sort of curious about that.
Well, I do listen to music once a day, and I actually take my Bose L1 music system with me and I dance. I dance for at least half an hour a day as a practice. But I disconnect from the computer and email and all that noisiness, and I do take my guitar. So, but there'll be lots of sitting and walking, and I let go of time. So I go to bed when I feel like it and wake up when I feel like it. And it's common that I'm awake at 3 or so in the morning, and I'm then some of the nicest sitting is from 3 o'clock till dawn. Yeah. I tend to not read, because it's not very interesting to read for me, actually, when I'm on retreat. Mostly I just want to be I want to be on the one seat. But there's nothing wrong with doing some reading on your retreat, too, if you want. For me, it's disconnecting from the internet and relationships, just to be... And I am available to Jennifer. I don't, if she needs me, I will talk with her. And of course, over the years, my kids have had almost every retreat, someone has a crisis.
Do you take Buddha with you?
I beg your pardon?
Do you take Buddha with you?
No, Buddha stays home.
Do you talk to yourself?
Some, not a lot, but some.
Hey, Robert, you talked
about
Joe. How when you go on retreat, there's always a crisis. And I've often found in life when there is this opportunity for something like retreat, say a spiritual gathering or something like that, there seems to always in my mind something comes up where you have to make the choice to do that. It's never just easy to go and make that retreat happen. There's always something where it's like, well, now this has cropped up and I have to decide to do this anyway, to go forward with my retreat in spite of this other thing. And I've often thought that was very interesting, that it's always, at least for me, there becomes this point where it's a tangible, you must choose to do this over that, or do this instead of that, or give it up because something else has happened. And I wonder if that, at least for me, seems like part of the spiritual path is something always seems to be placed in the path where I have to decide which fork of the road to go. And sometimes I have to forego that spiritual path for something that's pertinent to my life, and sometimes I have to just decide that I have to go this way instead of that way. Do you find that there's seriously always something that crops up?
Every moment.
Oh, okay.
Which wolf will you feed? Every moment.
The cute one. Yeah.
That's where the refuges are very helpful. And let's say I couldn't go on retreat. Something could come up. It's very easy that could happen. And in which case, then that would be my practice. And the disappointment that would arise would be, well, there's disappointment. Okay.
Yes. Part of the lesson.
Yeah.
Part of the life. It is easier now that I've been sitting when things like this happen. So easy to accept and not be torn.
Right.
And look at it as a new path with curiosity rather than, oh no.
Don't forget to mute yourself, Joe.
I thought I did.
I found, it's Karen again. I was just going to say two things. First of all, I was just thinking when you said you're going to dance for 30 minutes, I thought dance while you still have feet. You know, that poem that you had, that you read, I thought was, So, and the other thing is this is going to be a long stretch for me all by myself. And I've just noticed the last couple of days, I've just been really emotional about it. And I don't even know if it's about that. I've just been really emotional. And so I'm kind of thinking that, it's just interesting. So I'm noticing these emotions. I mean, I was playing pickleball with some friends yesterday, and I was just on the verge of tears. And it was just so weird. And so I think it's kind of going into the unknown, the great wide open or whatever. So.
Now, what you're doing and what I'm doing are different fish. I have 5 days chopped out, and I intend to make it a relatively, quote, intense isolation time. You're going through a long-term change in your life, and there's quite a lot of grief. And so your meditation will also be significantly in the grief and allowing yourself to grieve. And don't worry about doing some reading or some, you're nourishing yourself through a very challenging time of change. So be very kind, and if there's emotions, and they become your meditation object.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I would like to go to pick up where the keynote address is this morning at the conference. So let's close with Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam, and I will look forward to being with you tomorrow. So please unmute if you wish. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, dear friends. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy being in the one seat in the middle of everything.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Robert.
you. You too, Robert. Be well.
Bye-bye. Be well, be well, be well.
Be well, be well, be well, Sangha.
There we go. That's better.
So.
Here I go. Bye-bye.